and welcome back to this new video tutorial of Akeneo. In today's video tutorial, we'll be checking out multi-vendor Akeneo connector for Magento 2. Now using this particular plugin, you'll be able to connect and synchronize your Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace with the Akeneo itself. So using this particular plugin, you'll be able to create vendor listing at the Akeneo end. You'll be able to create a vendor data reference attribute, and you will be able to assign vendors that you have created in the Akeneo to the products that you have created within the Akeneo itself. Apart from that, you'll also be able to export the what we say as the data from Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace there. And when you have exported the data from the Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace there, the vendors would be automatically created at the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace and in the Magento 2 backend, and the vendors that you have assigned to the respective products, those would also be visible when you are editing a particular product at the Magento 2 end. Those vendors would be automatically assigned to those products as well. Kindly note that to make use of this particular plugin, that's the multi-vendor Akeneo connector for Magento 2, you need to install 3 different modules there. The very first module that you want to install is on your Magento 2 instance. That's the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace by Webcool. Then you have to install the other module, that's the Magento 2 Akeneo connector on the Akeneo end, and you also have to install one more plugin at the Magento 2 end, that's the Magento 2 Marketplace Web Services API. So the Magento 2 Akeneo connector would be used for exporting the data from the Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace there. So in today's video tutorial, what we'll be doing is we'll be showing you how the Akeneo admin in the first place would be able to create the vendor listing in the Akeneo backend panel there. Apart from that, we'll also be seeing how the admin would be able to create the reference vendor data attribute in the backend, and then how that particular attribute can be assigned to a particular family, and how we can make use of that particular family to create a product. And then we'll be seeing on the product edit page in the Akeneo backend how we'll be able to assign a particular created vendor to the product there. Thereafter, in the last, we'll be seeing how we will be able to export all of the data from the Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace, and then we'll be taking you to the Magento 2 backend panel there to show you the created vendors that have been imported or that have been basically exported from the Akeneo to the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace as well, and the rest of the configuration settings thereafter. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So first of all, let's hop on to the Akeneo backend, and in the Akeneo backend we'll see the workflow of the Akeneo backend there, wherein the admin would be able to create the vendor listing, and then while he's creating the products there, how he'll be able to assign those vendors to the particular product and the rest of the workflow. And lastly, we'll see the Magento 2 backend for the rest of the data that has been exported from the Akeneo there into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace itself. So for the same, let's hop on to the Akeneo backend panel first. So right now you can see that I'm at the Akeneo backend panel. So what I'll be doing is initially I'll be logging into the Akeneo backend panel by entering the username, password, and tapping on the login button thereafter. So let's log into the Akeneo backend panel. I'll just tap here on the login button, and after we have successfully logged into the admin backend panel of Akeneo, on the side hand panel, let me show you, we'll be able to find one option now with the name vendors. So after the successful installation of the multi-vendor Akeneo connector for Magento 2, you'll find one option with the name vendors on the side hand panel of the Akeneo backend there. Now the very first thing that I want to show you is how we'll be able to create the vendors in the first place in the Akeneo backend panel there. Now the other option that you can see here is the Magento 2 Akeneo connector. So as I've already told you, you need to have the Magento 2 Akeneo connector installed by Webcool installed on your Akeneo instance there. Then you'll have to have the multi-vendor Akeneo connector for Magento 2 installed on your Akeneo end, and on the Magento 2 end you'll have to have the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace by Webcool and the Magento 2 multi-vendor web services API installed at the Magento 2 end by Webcool there. So the very first thing that I'm going to show you is how we can create the vendor listing in Akeneo. For that, we'll go to the vendors option that we have. So I'll just tap on that. and this will bring up the complete listing of the vendors that we have already created within the Akeneo itself. As you can see right now, here we are having vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, vendor 4 with their email, first name, last name, and their profile URLs as well. So to add a vendor, what I'll be doing is I'll be just tapping here on the add vendor button that you can see on the top right hand corner. So let me tap here on the add vendor, and here we are on the create vendor page. So we have to enter the code of the vendor. So let me set it as vendor 6, and let me enter the email of the vendor, vendor6@webcool.com, and let's set it as vendor 6 first name, and let's set the last name as vendor 6 last name. So I'm just entering the demo data there, and then we'll set up the profile or the shop URL there for the vendor. So let me set it as vendor 6 shop URL, and let's set the password for the same. And after entering these details, set up the code for the vendor, the email of the vendor, the first name, last name of the vendor, profile or the shop URL of the vendor, and the password. We need to tap on the save button to save the particular vendor within the Akeneo there. So let's tap here on the save button. As soon as I've tapped on the save button, you will see that the process would take place and would create the vendor. So here you can see now we have the vendor 6 with the email vendor6@webcool.com. The first name is vendor 6 first name, the last name is vendor 6 last name, and the profile URL or the shop URL of this particular vendor 6 is vendor 6 shop URL. Now this was the process of creating the vendors in the Akeneo end. Now what we need to do is, after we are done with creating the vendors, we need to create the reference vendor data attribute in the Akeneo end. For that, what you need to do is you need to navigate to settings, and under settings you need to go to attributes. I've already created one reference data attribute for the vendor there. That's the with the type reference data symbol select, as you can see, and I've assigned it to the marketing group, the very first one that you can see, the Akeneo vendors. So to create the attribute, what you need to do is you just need to tap here on the top right hand corner that says create attribute. Then you have to basically choose the attribute type as reference data symbol select. Then you have to give in the label. For example, let me give the label as test underscore label, and then you need to confirm it out. After confirming it out, on the properties tab, you have to go to the attribute group and give a attribute group to this particular attribute that we have created for the simple select data there. For example, let's give it the e-commerce attribute group. Then we need to scroll down and we need to choose the reference data type as vendor. And after we're done with this, we have to give the label translations here, and then we need to tap here on the save button to save the particular attribute. After you save this attribute, what you need to do is you need to go to the families, and you need to select any one of the families to which you want to add this particular attribute to. For example, if you go with the accessories, you can go to accessories and then go to the attributes, and here you can tap on the add attribute, and you can search for your attribute that you have just created, the test label, and you can add it out. After adding it out, it would be added there. So if we scroll down here, we'll be able to find this particular one added in the particular section itself, right? So now I've already created one attribute there. So if I go to the attributes there, let me tap OK on this. Here I've created the Akeneo vendors as the attribute there. That's of the type reference data simple select. Reference data simple select. I've assigned this to the marketing attribute group, as you can see, and then I've chosen the reference data type as vendor. And under the label translations, I've given the label translation for the different locales there. I've saved it out. After saving it out, I've gone to the particular family there. So we have added to the attribute groups, that's the marketing one. Then under families, I've gone to one of the particular attributes, that's the accessories. And under accessories, if we go to attributes, and under attributes, if we go to the marketing section here, you can see that the Akeneo vendors is visible here that I've added within this particular family. Now what we need to do is we need to create a particular product using the same family to which we have added this vendor attribute to. Now I've already created one product, so if I go to the product section here, here you can see the product is this. For example, the sunglasses is there, and the family is accessories here. Now if I open this product in the edit mode there, and I scroll down to the marketing section here, we are on the marketing section here, we will find the Akeneo vendors attribute that we had assigned to this particular family, and the particular attribute is visible within the marketing attribute group there. Now here we'll be able to find all of the created vendors. Now here you'll find the vendor 6 that we had created. So I want to assign vendor 6 to this particular product there. So I'll choose vendor 6 here, and after selecting it out, I'll tap here on the save button to save the particular thing. So up till now what we have done is initially we have created the vendors in the Akeneo backend. Then we have created the reference data simple select of their attribute. We have assigned it to a particular family. Using the same family, we have created a product, and on the product edit page, we have gone to the particular attribute there that we had created, that was the Akeneo vendors, and I've assigned one vendor to this particular product there, and then I've tapped here on the save button to save the particular settings. Now after this, what we need to do is we need to export all of the vendor listing and the data that we have, the vendor that we have assigned to the particular product from the Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace there. To do so, what we'll be doing is we'll be going to the export section, and as we have already installed the Magento 2 Akeneo connector, then we'll be able to create the different export profiles here for exporting all products, attribute export, category export, configurable and variant product export, so on and so forth. To create the export profile, you just need to tap here on the create export profile button, and tapping that up would bring up this particular section. Here you can set up the code label, and under the job required you need to scroll down to the particular section that says webcool Magento 2 Akeneo connector. And here what I'll be doing is I have already created the Magento 2 export job for all here, as you can see. So I'll be selecting the same. So let me cancel this out, and here I've created the Magento 2 export all job already for the Magento 2 product export, as you can see, and the connector is webcool's Magento 2 Akeneo connector. So I'll just open this particular job there, and after opening the job, what I'll be doing is I'll be editing the job. And after editing here, we'll be selecting the credentials, the store backend URL that where we are going to export the data there. Under content, what I'll do is I'll just scroll down and I'll set the identifier there for the product that we are going to export. That was the sunglasses, to which we had added the vendor there. And then I'll be tapping here on the save button to save the particular profile. Now after I've saved the profile, now what I need to do is I need to export it. So I'll just tap here on the export now button, and after tapping on the export now button, you can see we have the Magento 2 export all profile that we had created. We have started it. The credentials are being validated there, and the host is being checked there. Thereafter, the other step would be exporting the categories, then exporting attributes, exporting attribute options, metric attribute option export. Then we'll be seeing the export families and attributes. Then we'll be seeing the simple product export there. Then we'll see the configurable and variant product export. Then we'll see the product media export and the product model association export and the product association export and much more. So up till now you can see that the credentials have been validated and it has been completed. The exporting of the categories has completed. We have read 7 and updated 7. Exporting of attributes has completed. We have read 4 and we have updated 4. And now the exporting of the attribute options has started. Now in the meantime, let me take you to the Magento 2 backend there, and let's log into the Magento 2 backend there by entering the username, password and tapping on the sign in button thereafter. Now after we've signed into the Magento 2 backend there, I'll take you to the particular section where we will be able to see the particular data being imported from Akeneo. So let me close it out, and let me close this out. So under the marketplace management, as I've already told you, we need to install the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace by webcool there on the Magento 2 instance. So under the marketplace management, when this particular process has completed, there we'll be able to see the particular seller that we had created in the Akeneo end being created here in the Magento 2 end as well. So if I go to the manage sellers section, here we'll be able to see the complete listing of Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace sellers there, and we'll see that particular seller as well being listed here. Apart from that, because we are exporting the products as well from Akeneo, the simple product that we were exporting, that product would be visible under the catalog and products. And let me take you to the product section, and right now you can see that that sunglasses would not be visible here. The one that you are seeing right now is another simple product, so the sunglasses has not yet been exported from the Akeneo into the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace there. So let me take you back to the particular section, that's the Akeneo end. So right now you can see that under this particular section, the Magento 2 export all job has completed itself, and you can see that the particular products have been read and have been written as well. Now let me take you to the Magento 2 end and let's see the data there. So this is the Magento 2 backend. Now as we had created the vendors in the Akeneo, and now those vendors would be automatically being imported here within this particular section under the marketplace management. So if I go to the marketplace management and I go to the manage seller section, let me tap on that, and this will bring up the complete list of sellers there. And here you can see the vendor 6 first name, vendor 6 last name with the seller ID vendor 6 @webcool.com has been created and has been approved as well. And now if I go to the particular section that says manage product, then you'll be able to see the product name as well as the associated seller to the product there. Let this particular section come up. So this is the manage sellers product section, and here you can see the ID, the product ID, the seller name, vendor 6 first name, vendor 6 last name, and the product name is sunglasses, as you can see. Now the product has also been inputted here within the system there. So if I go to the products, we'll be able to see the sunglasses now under this particular section that lists the complete list of products within the store there. Now here's the sunglasses that we had imported from the Akeneo there. So if I go to the products here, and here is the sunglasses, as you can see, the same sunglasses have been imported into the Magento 2 end here, as you can see. Now if I edit this particular product here on the Magento 2 end and I scroll down to the particular section there, here you can see the SKU is the same, 304 in the end, 304 in the end. And if I scroll down here, we'll have one section that says assign product to seller. Now you can see that the particular vendor has automatically been assigned to this particular product, because when we had created the vendors at the Akeneo end, then when we created the seller attribute there, as I had shown you, then we created then we added that particular single select attribute to a particular family, and then we created a product using the same family. And when we were creating the product at the Akeneo end, we were able to select that particular attribute, and we were able to choose a particular vendor for that particular product. So we were assigning a particular vendor to the product as well. So that's why this vendor 6 first name, vendor 6 last name has automatically been assigned to this particular product there. So yes, that was much about the multi-vendor Akeneo connector for Magento 2, and I hope that this particular video helped you out in understanding the complete workflow there. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions or requirements regarding the same, then you can anytime get back to us at support@webcool.com, or you can raise a ticket at webcool.uvidesk.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video, and have a great day ahead.